Hey friends, today we're making a quick pizza dough. If you love pizza as much as I love pizza, but don't have time to make it, this is the pizza dough for you. Also, we've got some bonus content with this leftover chicken fajita pizza. So be sure you check that out at the end. Let's go ahead and jump right into these ingredients. To a small bowl, we're going to add 1 and 1.5 cups of warm water, about 110 degrees. Next, we're going to add 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast, or 1 packet. And then we'll add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I am eyeballing, but it is equivalent to about 2 tablespoons and maybe a glug more. But then we'll just give this a quick stir, and we are going to just set this aside while we get our dry ingredients ready. So to a stand mixer, you want to add about 4 cups of flour. Then you will add 2 tablespoons of sugar. And then you'll want to give this a quick stir. I did add a teaspoon of salt. I just did not show it here. Now to my stand mixer, I'm going to fit the dough attachment, and I'm going to place this on stir, and we are going to slowly pour in our yeast mixture. And just a reminder that all of the ingredients and instructions will be in the description box below. After our liquid mixture has been poured into the flour, we are going to keep it on about a stir, just so that way we don't have a big old flour cloud. And if you don't have a stand mixer, you can actually use a large bowl for this. You will just stir it with a spoon, and then once it starts to come together, you'll just knead it until it forms a smooth ball. But now I'm going to increase the speed to a medium. And after 2 or 3 minutes, you can see that it's still quite sticky. It's kind of sticking to the sides and it hasn't formed a ball. If you see this and it's too sticky, you will add 1 tablespoon of flour at a time. I usually give it about 2 minutes in between, give or take. Sometimes it doesn't even take that long. You'll see the texture changed. And by the way, if we have not met, my name is Jennifer Scott, and on this channel, we do all things recipe, homemaking, gardening tips, and more. So be sure you subscribe and go ahead and hit that like button for me as well. What I love about this pizza dough is that I can freeze it. Now, this recipe that I'm giving you will yield 2 batches. And what I like to do is double this recipe and make 4. And what I do is divide them and place them into the freezer and pull them out as I need them throughout the month, which I love because it makes my life simpler. Anything that makes lunch or dinner time easy, I am there. And also, I have a good quality pizza dough in my freezer with simple ingredients that are not processed. Okay, but now back to this recipe. So you can see that the dough has started to come together, but it's still a little sticky. And I'm gonna show you what I mean. Let me lift this up real quick. You see how it's not really a ball and it's kind of sticking a little bit. So I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of flour, and I'm going to just mix this in for about a minute, and this should be done. Oh, flour cloud. All right, and after our flour haze there, you can see that this is now forming a ball, and this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out, and you can see that this is soft and supple, and it's a good stretch. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is, like I said, this is 2 batches, so I'm going to just cut this in half. And 1 half I'm going to freeze, the other half I am going to go ahead and cook for me and my husband for lunch. To prepare the dough for your freezer, add a few drops of olive oil to the dough and rub it on the top and on the bottom. This is so that way it won't stick and it won't dry out in the freezer as well. Then you'll just place it into a freezer Ziploc baggie. If you made this dough ahead of time and you're going to be cooking it, let's say later on in the day, and you don't want to freeze this, place it in your refrigerator. Just make sure that in the Ziploc bag you give a little bit of air room because it will expand and proof while it's sitting in the refrigerator. And when you are ready to use, you will bring it to room temperature for about 10 to 20 minutes, just depending on how hot or cold your home is. Now I'm getting hungry and we're going to make this pizza. So I'm going to start with a cast iron skillet and some cornmeal just to give the crust some more texture and give it kind of that pizzeria flavor. You can also use a baking sheet if you do not have a cast iron skillet. Pizza stone would be even better. And I'm going to just stretch the dough out by creating a kind of circle and pulling it at the ends, as you can see here as I'm doing. And I'm just rotating it around and kind of giving it a shake, a little pull. There, I'll slow down so that way you can kind of see. And then once I get it to a good shape, I'm just going to place it down and just push and stretch the rest of the dough to the edge of the pan, making sure that your dough is even and not thin. And you can also make a stuffed crust by placing cheese on the edge and just folding it over just like this. But today I am not going to be making a stuffed crust. And now that my dough is completed, I'm going to go ahead and prep the surface with some olive oil, and I'll just liberally kind of drizzle that onto this. And then I'm just going to take a brush and just kind of brush it in to make sure it's evenly distributed. Now to my dough, I want to flavor the crust a little bit, so I'm going to add some garlic, salt, and pepper and brush that kind of evenly onto the crust, just so, like I said, it gives it a little bit more depth and flavor. And for my base, my sauce, I'm going to be using probably a pizza sauce. I actually do not have any sauce, tomato sauce or anything on hand. So today I'm going to improvise and just take a few fresh tomatoes, pop them in the blender, blend them up to create a sauce. In the past, I have used Greek yogurt as a sauce. I have used barbecue sauce as a sauce, had like a barbecue chicken pizza. I have used diced tomatoes as a sauce, kind of almost more of a chunkier sauce. But whatever you use, it's up to you. That's what I love about this pizza. It's so versatile. It's whatever you have in your kitchen and what you love in your home. So once we have our sauce on, I'm just going to kind of push it around a little bit just to make sure there's no big clumps of sauce. Now I have shredded a blend of mozzarella cheese and white American cheddar cheese, which is going to pair perfectly with the chicken fajita flavor. I will reserve just a little bit of this cheese for the top of the pizza after all of our toppings have been placed on there. So the other day we had chicken fajitas, and I have these leftovers just sitting in my fridge. And I really wasn't in the mood for chicken fajitas again, so I decided to make a chicken fajita pizza. And that's what I love about this pizza is I'm just using up leftovers. This is, like I said, just leftover chicken fajita, chicken, bell pepper, and onions. I have used all kinds of toppings before. Ground beef, chicken, I've made a veggie pizza. You name it, I've made spinach pizza, all kinds of pizzas. And now I'm just going to take the reserved cheese and sprinkle that on top. This is just going to seal that deal and just kind of make sure all the flavors and everything gets in good. And plus, I mean, who doesn't love extra cheese? I know I do. And I'm curious, let me know in the comment what your favorite pizza is. I love pizza. That's probably one of my favorite foods is pizza and lasagna. Right, back to this pizza. I am building the flavor on top by adding just a little bit of pepper, a dash of garlic powder, and oregano on top. And then I'm going to just finish this off with a good drizzle of olive oil just to give it a little bit more robust flavor. Into a preheated 450-degree oven, this will go for 5 to 10 minutes. It is done. It is finished. Telestai. Oh, amen. This pizza has my home smelling like a pizzeria. I cannot wait to eat this. And I want you guys to peek at the bottom. Look at the golden brown, beautiful color of this. I cannot wait to eat this, guys. I'm like so excited. But before I do, I want to show you guys the thickness of this crust. I mean, it's not like a deep dish, but it has a nice thick crust on it. And with that, friends, I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, hit that like button and also be sure to check out the description for the full recipe and tips on how to freeze this dough. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so that way you'll be notified when new videos are available.